Hey guys, just popping in here. I just wanted to say that I'm going to be filming and uploading a Q&A on the 26th. Actually, I'm going to be filming it on like Friday probably. Pretty much I need some more questions because I only have like a few questions and I would really like to have some more to answer. So yes, I will leave a link down below. It'll be the first link to the video where you can comment your questions for the Q&A, and then click now on the screen right on my face and it will open a new window where it'll take you to the video where you can comment questions. So yes, please, please, please ask more questions. I would like to have a couple more because I don't want the video to be like a minute long. So yeah, if you want to ask some questions, just go do that. Click right here on my face and it'll open a new window and you can like pause that and like ask questions after you watch this video. But yeah, just letting you know. Go click. Clicky clickly. Click, 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 clicky, click. Okay, continue. Hey guys, today I'm doing my favorite series / trilogies. Pretty much I just chose a couple of my favorite series or trilogies and I'm going to share them with you and why I think you should read them. So no particular order, let's get started. So one of my favorite trilogies ever is The Maze Runner by James Dashner, and the movie is coming out in September. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's got Dylan O'Brien in it. And anyways, back to the book. This was an amazing book. I read it 2 or 3 years ago while I was in Hawaii, and it was so good. The characters in here are really cool and the story entirely changes when one character is presented in the book, and I just think it's a great book and you should go read it. Yes, it's not too big, so I think it's the perfect size, so yes, go read it. Another one of my favorite series is still continuing, it's not done yet, and that is the Lorien Legacies. This is the first book, I'm number 4, and the series is by Pittacus Lore. And there's currently 1, 2, 3, 4 books out, and yes, they're amazing. They're kind of like alien-y books, but not really because it's just complicated to explain. But yes, it's a really cool concept. There's people with like superpowers and stuff. It's so awesome and I think you guys should read it. Don't be turned off by the movie adaptation because it was not good at all and it was like horrible compared to the books. So yes, I think you guys should go read the books because it's so good. Another one of my favorite trilogies is the Divergent trilogy by Veronica Roth. Do I really need to talk about this a lot? I don't think so, because pretty much everyone and their mother has read it. I've always wanted to use that expression. Okay, anyways, yes, it's a really good trilogy. Even though the 3rd book kind of traumatized me forever, I still think it's amazing. I still need to see the movie, but whatever. It was, I just hit myself, so good. You guys need to read the series. I read it when it first came out in 2011. And man, I feel like super hipster when it comes to this book because it's like now everyone at my school and like everyone was reading it and I'm like, I read that in 2011 when it first came out. Get on my level. One of my favorite possible trilogies is The Archive by Victoria Schwab, and I know currently it's a duology because we haven't had any confirmation on the 3rd book or anything, just because they can't actually put it out because there's not much attention towards these books, but I'm still putting this in here because you know what, it's one of my faves and I think you guys should all go read it. It's so cool. I've never read anything like it and I think that a lot of people would enjoy this and it's really like kick-ass, and the 2nd book I love even more than the 1st book, so yes, go read it now. Another one of my fave trilogies is Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi, and I read this series last month or the month before that I think, and I absolutely loved it. And a thing happened that has never happened to me before where I changed perspectives on a character. What? I mean, it's happened in other books, but not as much as it has happened in this book. Like, I loved a character, like I was obsessed with the character during this book. And then in the next book, I absolutely hated him. And then in the 3rd book, I loved the guy that I hated in the 1st book. Like, what? So yes, this is an amazing book. I think you guys should all go read it. Another trilogy I think it's going to be is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. I love this trilogy. It's so cool. At least I think it's going to be a trilogy. Don't take my word on it. But yes, I'm pretty sure the third book is coming out sometime soon. Yeah, this book is so good. And it's one of the heaviest paperback books I've ever held in my phalanges. Did I really just use the term phalanges? Yes, this book is really good. If you haven't read it, go read it right now. It's so cool. Oh my god, this is fast time. I also want to mention Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. I've read the first 3 books and I like them. I do. So go read it. I still haven't seen the movie. Shame on me. Okay, that's it. I've saved my fave for last, so this is the only book that is in a particular order because this is my fave ever, pretty much, and that is The Unbecoming of Martyr by Michelle Hodkin. Guys, I've talked about this book literally every single one of my videos, and I've mentioned that I've talked about this book in every single video in all of my videos. So anyways, this series I need the 3rd book in my life right now. I'm not even joking. I need it right now. Give it to me. I'm just obsessed, and you guys know that. Noah Shaw has ruined my life. The Unbecoming of Martyr has ruined my life, but Noah Shaw has ruined my life, especially because Noah Shaw is Noah Shaw, and I'm just gonna keep saying the name Noah Shaw, and like my brain goes to mush when I talk about these books because I just love them so much. My mouth starts foaming, I start salivating because I can't speak fast enough that my brain wants. See, do you see here I'm stumbling? I can't speak fast enough. I can't speak fast enough. Wait, what am I even trying to say? My mouth can't keep up with my brain, pretty much. I'm thinking of a lot of words to speak and then they just don't come out, so it just sounds like that's what it sounds like because I get so excited around these books and talking about these books. Everyone needs to read them. Literally, if you haven't read them, I will like shove this book down your throat. I won't actually, because that would be a waste of a beautiful book, but go read it right now. I will like find you if you haven't read this book and bash you across the head and then give the book to you because it's like you need to read it. I just get really excited when I talk about these books, as you can tell. Okay, I'm gonna move on now because if I don't, I'm gonna spend like 20 minutes talking about this book, and I'm gonna end it with the final note about this book. Noah Shaw. 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 That is all. And another one of my favorite series. Just kidding, you thought Unbecoming of Martyr was the last one. I lied because I forgot about this book, and that is The City of Bones. The Mortal Instruments series, that's what it's called. Mortal Instruments, it's called, by Cassandra Clare. I forgot to mention this book. How could I forget? This is like my fave after The Unbecoming of Martyr. What was that noise? I don't know. But yes, I get the same kind of excitement when I talk about Unbecoming of Martyr when I talk about this book. So I'm just going to go ahead and say you need to read this series if you haven't read it. If you haven't read it, I will do what I did with Unbecoming of Martyr and hit you in the head and force you to read it. You'd have to read it. It's so good. The last book is coming out this May. I'm not prepared at all, but I need it right now. Jace, okay? Just Jace. Go read it right now. You have to read it right now. I got a bit aggressive there when talking about my favorite books, so I'm gonna go ahead and apologize about that. Just get really into this because I just love this book so much. Oh. I'm gonna go now before I do some stupider things on camera. So yes, thank you guys for watching. If you have not read any of these series / trilogies, you need to read them right now. Especially Unbecoming of Martyr and Mortal Instruments. Like, get your life together if you haven't read any of those books. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
I've been drinking. I get filthy when that liquor get it to me. I've been thinking, why can't I keep my fingers off it, baby? I want you, nah. Why can't I keep my